Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review on the new Bundesliga league player, Florian Niederlechner. We're going to go through the card assist stats, clips and summary, as well as the grind requirements for you guys to get your hands on him. Before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below if you're going to be grabbing this card. And now, let's get into the review. So guys, this is the team that I use Florian Niederlechner in. I played him at the top spot in that 4-2-3-1. And overall guys, my first impressions of this card is a decent card, it's okay. I do feel like there are some flaws with it, but I think for a free card, again, it's pretty decent. Let's just get into the review. Florian Niederlechner, 6'2", high work rates, right-footed, 3 touchdown moves, 4-star weak foot, 5 games played, 11 goals scored, and 1 assist. So guys, a decent return, considering that is now Division 2 only. High work rates is a bit of a problem. His positioning is a bit wayward at times. 3 touchdown moves is also a bit of an issue, guys. I wish it was 1 more star on the skill moves. That would be a lot more helpful in terms of getting past people. But his size is good as well, so that's a nice pro of this card. In terms of the chemistry style, I put the Hunter on him, just to kind of help out certain elements, which we'll get into shortly with the attributes, but also just to give him a better pace as well. Which leads me into the attribute details, guys. If we get into the key pros of the card, shot power is fantastic, finishing is really good, strength is good, and aggression is good as well. To go opposite to that, guys, the cons of this card are that his long shots are pretty poor. I feel like in general his pace is quite poor as well. Even though he's got good sprint speed, I feel like he could use a bit of a boost on that. And I do feel like that even though his heading accuracy is good, his jumping is really poor, so he doesn't get up as well as he should. In terms of his dribbling, guys, you see that 88 agility, an 89 balance, 93 reactions, 88 ball control. This is actually all very good, and he does feel very smooth on the ball, so I would say that's pretty decent as well. No player traits to speak home of. So now, having covered that, let's get into what the grind requirements are for you guys to get your hands on him. So guys, getting into Florian Niederlechner's requirements, and these are the requirements here. Win 15 matches using only Bundesliga players in the managerial masterpiece, score 30 goals, assist 20 goals, score an outside the box goal, and score a finesse goal. Now guys, the only ones that I think you're going to find challenging are of course the score outside of the box one. Especially with worse players. I would recommend getting yourself a player who's very good at those shots, of course, as is obvious. I used Marco Reus's birthday. It was very easy for me to do. I did it in 4 games, the first 4 games I played. And of course, the other drag will be the 15 wins. You will have to just grind them out, guys, as per usual. People seem to be quitting after the 1-goal rule on this game mode, though, again, so it does seem like it passed a lot quicker. I had this card done in about 2 hours, so it was fairly easy to do. And now that we've covered that, let's get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting into some of Florian Niederlechner's clips, and what you guys are going to see is his general ability to play up front in that striker role and do all the things that you would want a big man striker to be able to do. Now the first thing I want to get into, guys, is his pace. Now his pace is reasonable. It's not particularly high, it's not particularly low, it's just in the middle, and I think with the right chemistry style you can of course help him out a little bit too. With a Hunter or with an engine, this will become very usable, and considering he is so big as well, guys, he did not feel super slow or off the mark slow either. Which was nice as well because again he is so big. The next I want to get into, guys, is his link-up play and passing. Now I did find his passing hit and miss at times. I thought it was good in some instances and then pretty poor in others, and I tried to keep it relatively simple with this card because when I was complicating it a little too much, he did struggle a little more to link up the play and just play really good football in that regard. However, in terms of simple link-up play, of course he is more than capable of doing this. Getting into the next element of the card, guys, which is his dribbling. Now guys, surprisingly, his dribbling didn't feel that clunky. I felt like he was a reasonable dribbler, moved relatively well, considering again that he is 6'2". You have to bear in mind, guys, that this striker is a really big player. So for him to move as well as he did, very similarly almost to Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, maybe a little better, I felt like this card did really well in terms of movement. Getting into the next element of the card, guys, which is his physicality. And overall, guys, I think he did have really good physicality, really played well, good, strong physical player at times, and was able to hold up the ball well and play that big man role. However, guys, what I did notice a lot of the time as well was his strength didn't always kick in, and he ended up getting bullied off the ball a little bit. Now, I don't know what that was down to, whether that's down to something in aggression or something in his dribbling or something that will help him out just strength-wise, but he did sometimes get bullied off a little too easily, like there. He does manage to hold them off just, but it's very close when he does lose the ball and when he doesn't, so I would have liked to see a bit more consistency in that department. The next thing I'm going to get into, guys, is his shooting. Now of course his shooting is, as you guys have seen, not bad. It's not particularly great, but it's not bad. And guys, what we have to bear in mind with these cards is that they are free cards. The one thing I would say about his shooting is that when you create easy opportunities for him, he will stick them away generally. He did miss a couple earlier on in some of these clips, but I do feel like if you do give him the easy chances, he's able to slot most of them away. Let's say a 7 or 8 out of 10 chances he'll slot away. In terms of his overall shooting though, he shoots with great power, and that's really nice as well, because it does cause quite often a lot of deflections for goals as well. And considering the amount of chances that he missed for me as well in those 5 games, he still did get 11 goals, which is a reasonable return considering that is in Division 2. So we're very happy with how that card played as well. Wasn't too bad in terms of the finishing department, although I would have liked to see, again, just see a little more consistency. The last thing I want to talk about, guys, which we will go into more in the final summary, is the fact that his high work rates do hold him back a little bit in terms of his positioning. I do feel like that at times he was very out of position for the striker role, and because he's a big man, you need him to be the focus of your attack and the target of your attack so that you can hold up the ball and then create opportunities. I didn't like the fact that he was out of position so often due to those work rates. That is really one of the things that I thought was the biggest con for me. I could make do with the rest, but that positioning was really poor at times. In these final few clips, guys, you're just going to see more of the same. Me scoring some nice easy finesse goals or creating easy chances for myself, and really this is what this card is all about: holding the ball up on the edge of the box and getting easy finishes there. And in this final one here, more of the same, breaking out wide into that position. You guys can see, not the fastest player, but reasonable enough to get down the wing, creating an opportunity here with the little fake shot and then finishing it. So guys, getting to this final Florian Niederlechner summary. Of course, doesn't cost you anything, just your time to graft out those objectives. In terms of the key pros, guys, of course, I think the shooting element is very good. I think his long shots are a little bit iffy. Sprint speed is good, but acceleration is poor. And decent dribbling, actually, for a big man. Actually does very well in that department. I do feel like his passing is decent, but his physicality is really a good fact about this card as well. Really does stand out on this card and how well he plays. In terms of the chemistry style, guys, I put the Hunter on him. I do feel like that was a good one for him. That's what it does to his pace, and his shooting does very well in terms of just boosting his overall stat line. I do feel like you need to focus a little bit on his pace, guys. You could go with an engine. That would really be a good way to go with this card as well. Now, that's actually the one that most people have gone for on this card. That boosts his passing, gives his dribbling a little bit of a helping hand, and gives his pace a helping hand though as well. In terms of similar players, guys, we've got a similarity in Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. I don't know if he's going to pop up on this list here. Olivier Giroud's another one there. One of these big players, more technical, I think, or more speedy than Giroud. I think Klaas-Jan Huntelaar is a very good sort of comparable card to this one. The stats are very similar as well in terms of how they play. I think that's exactly how he plays.